If your entire value proposition is I build automations, you are about to have a massive problem. Right now, the internet is flooded with people trying to sell you the automation gold rush. They're out there peddling Zapier loops and perfect prompts, like they found the secret cheat code for business. But here's the truth. The AI gurus won't tell you this. Automations are becoming a commodity. If all you're doing is connecting app A to app B, you aren't actually solving a business problem. You're just shifting the bottleneck. You're taking a broken manual process and making it happen 10 times faster. In my experience, running multi-million-dollar product teams, I've seen this mistake 1,000 times. It creates what I call digital spaghetti. You end up with 50 different Zaps, 10 different SaaS subscriptions, and a mess of data that no one actually trusts. Recently, I was working with a client that had a serious case of tool fatigue. We counted them up. They had 14 different software subscriptions. Everything was automated, but the team was massively stressed, and the founder was spending hours and hours fixing broken links, tracking errors, and trying to see what was going on every time a flow failed. And worse, because stuff was happening at a higher volume, the issues were piling up faster. They were paying a massive automation tax. As part of our audit, we found that 10 of the tools we identified were hardly being used at all. They had a HubSpot subscription that was essentially acting as a database. None of the smart stuff was even being leveraged. All it was doing was holding customer information. We decided to strip out all of these tools and consolidate them into a simple custom-built application. It could be managed centrally and it would do the same job. After a 2-hour scoping session and 12 hours of development, the software was live. Within a week, we transitioned the whole team to a new application and immediately saved $1,500 in subscription fees. That's per month. But that's only just the surface of it. Yes, the costs were lower, but the productivity gains was where the real wins came in. All of a sudden, the founder was able to trust that the processes would just work, and they could monitor business operations all in one place, rather than logging into 10 different tools every single day. And unfortunately, this story highlights the reality for most AI-powered businesses. Right now, they haven't built a scalable business. They've just built faster chaos. They're renting their workflows from expensive SaaS companies that only solve 10% of their actual problem. This is why the era of the simple automator is ending. The era of the systems architect is here. A systems architect doesn't just look at how to move data from a form to a spreadsheet. They look at the entire operating system of the business. They ask, why do we even have the spreadsheet in the first place? Why are we using 3 different tools when we could build one custom interface that does exactly what we need? Real scale comes from custom-built, AI-enabled software, tools that let one person do the work of an entire team, deployed in days, not months. Thankfully, this is now possible with all of the AI tools that we have available to us. The problem is that people are getting lazy now. You can build automations with a single prompt and have N8N whip up an end-to-end flow from start to finish in literally 1 minute. But software doesn't really work that way. The perfect prompt is a myth. It's about iterative development. It's about building a version 1, getting feedback from the team, and refining it, which is why automators will soon be left with no work, and software builders will be taking their business. The gurus tell you that AI replaces the process. They're wrong. AI accelerates the process. It allows a solo builder like me or someone on your team to act like a full-scale engineering department. But you have to stop thinking in Zaps and start thinking in systems. This reminds me of the stories from the early development of the iPhone. Steve Jobs famously obsessed over the idea that if a piece of technology required a manual, it was already broken. He wanted a device so intuitive that a toddler could pick it up and find what they needed without a single instruction. He stripped away the physical keyboards and the stylus because they were friction. He knew that the interface was everything. But in the world of AI and business scaling today, we've forgotten that lesson. We've become obsessed with automations. We spend weeks building complex workflows in the background, connecting app A to app B, triggering zaps in between that nobody can see. And that is exactly why most businesses' systems fail, because automations don't have a user interface. When you build an automation, you're building something invisible. The founder has to trust that it's working in the background. The team has to hope the data moved. There is no button to click necessarily, no progress bar to watch, and no immediate satisfaction. It's the digital equivalent of a black box. If your business process feels like you're constantly checking to see if the magic has happened in the background, you haven't built a system, you've just built a different kind of friction. The biggest aha moment I've had when I present a solution to a founder isn't when I show them the 50 nodes of logic I built in NA10. They don't care about the nodes. The moment their eyes light up is when I show them a single, clean button on a custom dashboard. They click it and they see the result in real time. The database updates, the client gets the email, the report generates right there in front of them, just like an iPhone. So, if you want to stay relevant in this economy, you have two choices. You can keep copy-pasting automations that people will eventually stop paying for, or you can learn to build actual software that businesses rely on, the kind of software that becomes the backbone of a company. If you're a builder or an automator who wants to level up, if you want to stop being a prompt monkey and start being a systems architect, come join the Stack Labs community. It's free to join, and it's where we're sharing the frameworks, the stacks, and the logic behind these self-driving systems. Or, if you're a founder or business owner who is tired of endless SaaS subscriptions, and if you're ready to stop staffing up just to manage your tools, and you want a custom internal system built to your exact specs, reach out to me at Foundana. Stop building automations that create chaos. Start building the software your business actually deserves.